prime time on the top game, it's a fine line. Man in the match, that's Daveye, he's the main guy, keep a close eye. Make sure you don't make no wrong play, cause I'm with Jose and Andre. When Cyrus comes to walk in, you better know that you are watching Premier League. Daveye, tell what time we on. Prime time. Let me hear you say Premier League. Daveye, tell what time we on. Prime time.
Hello and welcome to Premier League Primetime. Arsenal 2, Man United 0, and out of pure respect, I'm going to introduce him. The head of and chief of the MDL, Mr. Jonas, Arsenal supporter. First off, before the cooking commences, how are you, my bro? All's good?
Yeah, all's good. I'm doing good. Happy to be on the channel.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and of course, not the best time for me. Arsenal 2, Man United 0. Take it away, my guy. Initial thoughts.
I mean, yeah, no, you love to see it. Like, I mean, off set pieces, it's like it's actually just so it's crazy. And especially what's even more wild about that, it's interesting. Like, unlike with Stoke City and stuff, they have huge players, but you'll be seeing people like Timber scoring. And it's just the delivery of these balls is just absolutely just incredible.
Yeah, and of course it just had to be a flipping set piece, didn't it? Just
yeah, it just had to.
Can't be us. From an Arsenal point of view, any players in particular that stood to you as having a good game?
Well, firstly, I'd definitely say Declan Rice. Like, I feel like he was just
he was brilliant today.
Yeah, he was just brilliant today. I think this was his best game of the season because I just feel like he was just everywhere defensively, going forward. He sent great balls forward, and he also was able to really clean up in the midfield, get some great interceptions in there too. And I just think all around in every aspect, he just had a great game.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, as much as I banter and criticize Rice, I mean, he was all over the pitch today. He schooled Man United's midfield today. I mean, partially because the pivot that we had just they don't complement each other at all, and because both of them were poor individually. But I can't take away the performance from Rice today. Honestly, he done well. It's brilliant today. Any other person in particular that said to you from an Arsenal point of view that you thought were just absolutely brilliant today?
Well, yeah, I mean, firstly, I'd say Declan Rice. I want to say man of the match, in my opinion, without a doubt. But I would also say, like, probably the second best player from what I saw was Saliba, because I just thought he looked so composed defensively in the right places.
I mean, I
didn't think so.
Not saying he was bad, but he just didn't really look like he had a whole lot to do, if I'm honest with you. Just didn't look bothered, didn't look uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, I feel like particularly...
but I'm just saying, not in the sense that he was bad, but really, did he really stand up? Because just didn't look like he had a whole lot to do, which is a compliment, and it's a testament to how, while Arsenal organized the game, they went about their game plan, speaks volumes to that. But in my opinion, I don't think Saliba was anything amazing. I mean, he scored the goal, but just done what you'd expect. A starting center back that a lot of a certain fan base call the best of the league, best young defender in the world, and part of what is called the best center back duo in the league, and the alleged title contenders. One would expect that kind of performance against a team that's heavily in transition. Not to make any excuses, but that's just the cold, harsh fact of the matter. But Saliba done very well today. In particular, if there's a player that I felt was rather quiet, Bukayo Saka. Yes, he got the assists, done that, but seemed as if he was struggling to even get shots off, really.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely say he was definitely struggling to get those shots off, but I think that there are definitely other players in this team that were very quiet, but I definitely thought that he had a great game. Like, first of all, with the corner kicks also, I thought he had some
Right.
great deliveries into there. And then also, I thought he was pretty much a threat throughout the match. He was making some good runs in, like with the Odegaard pass. I mean, if he timed that a little bit better, that would have been just totally beautiful. And then even with Thomas Partey at the end, when he sent him that through ball, he timed his run really well. And I thought, yeah, he sent some good balls into the box. And Euro with that tackle towards the end, or that interception. Yeah, I thought that obviously wasn't his best game by any means, but I thought that he looked like a threat throughout the match, and I thought he had a decent match overall. Definitely not his best one I've seen by any means, though.
No, it's funny how, as much as we struggled in the set pieces or in defending the set pieces, we've done a decent job at keeping Saka relatively quiet. What was annoying me constantly was that because of that midfield pivot, that partnership of Bruno and Ugarte was doing the heading, because neither of them are good at keeping hold of the ball. So just be hoofball and constantly not only just giving the ball away, but they'd be giving the ball away to Odegaard. And it's almost as if the Red Sea would part. And Odegaard would have the time and the space to carry the ball forward. And I'd see Saka making the run up the right-hand side and seeing the right back trying to get in on the passing sequence. As we all know, that's like the stereotypical traditional Arsenal goal. Of times of recent seasons gone by. Odegaard, Saka, or Ben White, or right back passing sequence and combination. And how many times I saw today, it was driving me nuts. Didn't really help, or made Saka's night a lot easier to see. Malacia starting his first Premier League match.
That's crazy.
Months.
Been out for so long.
I didn't quite understand why Amorim made that decision, along with several other team selection decisions. But look, he's slowly starting to learn what our fan base, or what a good amount of our fan base, has already known for ages. So he's only been here for less than 4 weeks, and for a manager and for a team that's phase 5 of the process with their manager, as annoying as it is, I told Matt before the game, I told you before the game, told you before the match, if Arsenal drop any points in this match, they should be ashamed of themselves. Arsenal should have no complaints, and they should aim for nothing but a win. 3 points and nothing less is good enough. And guess what? Arsenal done what they were expected to do. Not to, kill the joy, but really, when you think about it, for a team that's supposed to be contending for the league, a trend, a Man United that has a lot of injuries on as an excuse, but we're missing a good amount of people, a good amount of players, and a team that's going through a heavy transition on and off the pitch. Yeah, Arsenal should be taken care of that without a doubt, but also done the job. But two players that I do want to talk about in particular, two of your favorites. I know you're one of the main founders.
I know what you're going to say.
The MDL. I know you're one of the main guys of the MDL. I know you are. I know how proud you feel to belong and be a part of the MDL. Come on. We gotta start talking. Gotta start talking about it, man. Saw matches at the other end, and it was the exact same thing.
That was awful from Martinelli. Like he had to take on. It's Harry Maguire. Like he has to take him on.
Not good. He's just not good, and it's okay. He's a squad player. It's okay. I know it's difficult for these certain kind of things, but also fans to just get off their chest. Pause. I know it's difficult, but sometimes you just have to let go.
No, but I will admit, look,
He was poor tonight.
Yes, he was very, very poor tonight. Like, he was just really anonymous. And then the only time I guess he really popped out was when he should have scored against Onana there, or taken on Maguire and beaten him, but instead he just shot. Like it just seems like he's super low on confidence. But I think we're getting. Oh, go ahead.
I don't care what anyone says. Right now, when you look at the way he's performing, he's the best goalkeeper in the league. He's the most clean sheets in the league. You look at the way he's performing, and everyone say, "Oh, but you have Addison and Reyes won the Golden Glove and all that, blah 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 blah." When Onana has had the shambolic defense and midfield structure for the last 2 years, and especially for for almost a season and a half, he's had to play. He's had to play under that Dutch Professor X. No wonder he was throwing the ball into his own. He was trying to get him out of here. So to be honest, I don't really blame him. Ever since he's gone, he looks like he's the Onana of Inter Milan. Looking at the 50 million seems decent, well spent, but gotta give the accolades to Onana, man. David Raya made a wicked save on the other end.
That was an incredible save.
The only time I probably saw him save anything all match, to be honest with you. Also, I'm very comfortable. And then you're going to Emirates is always going to be a challenge. The part of our fan base, especially the top Brits, I thought we were going to win. Just another case of me saying at home because just doesn't happen. And it's also now the first time, I think, is it ever in Arsenal's history or in Premier League history where Arsenal have won lost 4 straight consecutive Premier League games against Manchester United. So
I think it's the first time. I remember them saying that was the first time ever where that's happened.
Record. Brilliant record. Wow, just amazing. And there's another guy that I think we need to talk about. Your legend 20-plus goal, 20-plus Premier League goal a season striker.
Havertz.
What's going on with him? I need a striker Kai. What's going on with him?
Havertz definitely had a bit of a stinker that game. Like, I think he should have finished off that.
Mazraoui, bro. Mazraoui. And he was, it was his fault. Or he was partially fault the second goal. And also, that's what annoys me, right? Like, even though Arsenal scored 2 set-piece goals, right? Just the reason why they were even scored in the first place was because a certain player, which everyone knows is someone I'm not the biggest fan of, just decided to for the first goal decided to take a nap and just completely lose any sort of spatial awareness around him, and then for the second goal to just go and shy away. And hits off Saliba and goes in. So, and no one sees how he can see the goals, but at the end of the day, there wasn't really anything to lose other than 3 points, and probably going to have to hear in the insufferable Arsenal fan base for a few days until the weekend, which is at least nice. At least it's a midweek match, and I don't have to hear it for a whole week. That's one of the only positives. So that's all right. But looking at Arsenal, let's just go straight into the player rating segment of the show. Starting off in goal, David Raya. What are we saying for David Raya?
I would give him a 7. I mean, he had good distribution. He didn't really have much to do, but obviously he made that one great save. I think he had good distribution throughout the game. And I think he did his job overall and a great save. So I think that gives him a 7.
Right back, was it Julian Timber? Was he playing right back? I believe it was. Yeah, Julian Timber at right back.
I would give him, honestly, I would give him a 7. I think he dealt with Garnacho and Rashford very well, and then he almost got an assist later with like the Odegaard pass when he cut that back.
Garnacho is super difficult. Give him 10 extra points.
Oh yeah, no, Garnacho, he lost the ball. He was losing the ball so much. No one was on him even. He would just he needs a magnet on his boot or something.
I keep telling people about about this player, man, but it's only someone that people are just gonna decide not to listen. Literally just let's literally just scream their face, but it is what it is. Center back Saliba.
Saliba, I would give him, honestly, I know you may be against this, an 8.5. Like, I thought that in the first half in particular, I thought he was very strong. I thought he was very composed. And I thought there was a lot of situations where he was under pressure, but then he got out of it very well. I think at the beginning, I'm not sure if he was pressed specifically by Haaland, but when he got out of the situation, that was impressive. And then even like driving forward at one point, he carried the ball well, brought it out. And I thought that he nicked a couple tackles here and there. And I thought it was, overall a great performance from him. So I'll give him an 8.5.
Yeah, very good, calm, composed, comfortable performance. Kept William preoccupied. I was able to host his wrestling matches. I had a few wrestles with Rasmus Haaland to keep him happy, because we all know he loves having his wrestling matches against the opposition center back. So he kept him busy. Done well with that. Scored a goal which really just hit off him.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, but he done what William Saliba should be doing. What the star center back in a title contending team should be doing at the end of the day, against a depleted and disjointed and transitional Man United side that's going through a lot of change. For me, it just the left side of that defense, just how we somehow couldn't even score anything.
Yeah.
The left-hand side of the defense, just anyways. He-Man kept a clean sheet. Firstly, Jakub Kivior. Starting off with him.
No, I mean, I thought he had a decent game overall. I didn't think he was anything too spectacular. Stepped up well when obviously Gabriel is out, which is a big loss. But yeah, he did the job. I'd give him 6.5.
Yeah, fair. Haaland also not only returned back to wrestling, but also decided to bring back the twerking as well. I'm surprised he didn't ask Kivior for his missus' phone number.
I know.
I can't lie, bro.
She's quite good at it.
Lie. Even if it gets taken down, I can't lie. Just the coincidence of that. And if it just epitomizes Arsenal, man. It does. Oh man, but yeah, honestly, I'm surprised that Haaland, isn't taking classes from Kivior's missus. Maybe he should. Left back, Alexander Zinchenko.
I think it was like a mixed game for him, because I feel like he was decent going forward.
He had nothing to do in the first half, really. But then the moment our best attacking threat came on, he was getting ripped.
Yeah, no, he definitely was. When Ahmad came on, gave the ball away. But to be fair, there was this one play also I remember where I think the ball was going through and he just made a great tackle that probably saved us a goal, like a great interception. But I feel like I would give him, because he started struggling a bit. I feel like I'd give him maybe just like a 6, like average. I think could be even a little bit lucky to get a 6. But yeah, I'd just about say a 6.
Fair enough. Going into midfield, Thomas Partey.
He had some great moments, but then at the same time, I mean, obviously he got the assist with his butt, which is pretty funny, pretty cool. But then I thought that there were a lot of times where he was a little bit slow, kind of giving the ball away, and I thought those moments he kind of struggled. But at the same time, I think that he did also have some good passes too, like putting in decent balls for Saka and Odegaard. And I would give him a 6 out of 10 overall, is what I would say.
All right, yeah, fair enough. Alongside him, Declan Rice.
Declan Rice, honestly, I have to give him a 9. I just thought literally he was everywhere on the pitch, sweeping up the interceptions, drove the play forward. And I felt like we saw a little bit more of an attacking side from him today, which I like, because I feel like also, I kind of missed that, because I feel like last season especially, he was always pushing us forward, driving up the field, and just being a little bit more creative. And I felt like he was given a little bit more like freedom, because he was just everywhere. And I feel like I'm very happy that, he was just given a lot of that freedom and able to also, especially with them corner kicks, obviously I've got to mention, they're just insane. Like, I give him a 9 out of 10 on that performance.
Martin Odegaard.
I think that Martin Odegaard, I think he had a decent game. I think he was a little bit, especially compared to like previous weeks and stuff, I think he was a little bit more quiet, but I think he was inventive a little bit, like especially he almost got an assist for Havertz there. And I thought also it was good how he dropped deep a little bit. He didn't lose possession at all, seemed pretty calm and composed. And he seemed like he, obviously wanted to be creative and stuff. I'd give him a 6.5, a decent performance, I'd say. Nothing too special.
Fair enough. Into the attacking trio. Into the least clinical part of that Arsenal attack, starting on the right-hand side, Bukayo Saka. What are you giving him for his performance today?
Well, definitely the best out of the attacking trio. I do wish he was a little bit more clinical in front of goal. I wish he kind of took a little bit more shots, but I think that he was constantly a bit of a threat down that right-hand side, even if he wasn't, taking all of his chances. I thought that...
For the diving alone, he gets a 10.
Huh?
For the diving alone, he gets a 10.
Wait, you cut out there for a second.
For his diving alone, he gets a 10. He gets a 10 for me.
Yeah, I feel like if he, unfortunately with Saka, I feel like if soccer wasn't his sport, I feel like he'd definitely be a professional diver.
I mean, it's not even hanging on, but come on, man. I mean, how many times did I see, Bukayo Saka launch himself to the floor? It was as if Arsenal weren't even playing for goals; they were playing for set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, man. But anyways, carry on. What are you giving Saka?
I mean, I think honestly, I would give Saka an 8 out of 10. I thought he had a good performance. Just a very solid performance.
All right. A little bit surprised. I think that's a bit high, but fair enough.
I just think he had pretty much everything but goals today.
Of course. The only positive to this match is that Gabriel was injured. Because if Gabriel was playing, we probably would have conceded another 3 goals. A hat-trick of fucking headers. And we probably would have lost 5-0. And all the goals would have just been set pieces.
They would have all straight from our back line.
Anyways. Into the most deadly and prominent parts of the attack. Going to the left wing. You're the head of the MDL, Gabriel Martinelli. Are you repping the MDL today? Or
I hate to say it, but unfortunately, I'm not repping the MDL today. Honestly, I think he gets the lowest rating out of any of the players on the team.
What does he get?
I have to give him a 3. I thought he was really poor today. I thought he just lacked a lot of confidence, and I think he really needs to regain his confidence back soon if he wants a future at Arsenal, because I just feel like I just don't think that I love Martinelli and I want him to do well so badly. And I see that there is such a great player there, but ultimately I feel like if he just keeps on putting him stinkers this season, I mean, if we're challenging for the title, I feel like we can't have somebody who one week could look absolutely incredible, but then the majority of weeks it's just poor. It's just anonymous, poor performances, lack of confidence. And I hate to say it, but 3 out of 10 for Martinelli.
And of course, the lone striker up front, clinical, but behind you, striker Kai Havertz. What does he get tonight?
I got to give him. Honestly, I think I got to give him a 4. I mean, I think he was very slightly better than Martinelli. I thought that there was one point where aerially, I'm trying to remember which instance, but he had some good link-up play. at like in only like one instance. But yeah, he definitely should have taken that shot better. And from Odegaard, from that pass that he received, yeah, I definitely expect a lot more of him. Not his best performance, but yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Going into the substitutions, and before I get into the substitutions, I could not believe when I was reading out the lineups from both sides and the benches. I could not believe, and I had to make sure I was fully awake. Just to make sure I wasn't in another realm. Kieran Tierney somehow on the bench for Arsenal.
No,
still there.
No. It's crazy. I can't even remember. I can't even remember the last time he played for Arsenal, because I feel like whenever I think of him, I think of just 2020. I mean, obviously,
it's kind of sad to think about because looking at your left backs, I mean, Kieran Tierney is probably better than all of them. Technically, defensively,
I think
he's better than Calafiori, 100%.
Yeah,
definitely better than Zinchenko. Timber's not even a left back, so I mean, I know Arteta's spent how much money on fullbacks, and none of them are better than Tierney. I mean, Tierney's the greatest, but he's a decent left back.
I think it's different from the profile Arteta wants. I think like Tierney is more just like a marauding fullback, just runs straight down the line. And I feel like with Zinchenko, like you could even see especially in the first half and stuff, but you could see he was like playing in midfield almost. And I feel like Kieran Tierney is just not. I think he's a great player, but I just think he's not that kind of player where he's going to be technical in midfield and stuff. I think that he's just a player who runs straight down the line, sends in a cross. And I just don't think he fits this system really. But no, I love Tierney. I thought he was going to be a future captain at Arsenal, honestly. But I guess
surely, it's good to have. And of course, I get it. He doesn't fit Arteta's style of play. But isn't it, I'm not saying you have to be like Man United where you look at, you can't even put it a cohesive, 11-a-side team together of players who are almost, or predominantly, or the majority of them are able to play in one single style of football. You can't. Because, for example, look at our midfield. You have the likes of Casemiro, you have Eriksen, you have Mount, you have Ugarte. All four of them are drastically different in so many ways. I'm not saying like that, but it's also good to have some different profiles. And Arteta doesn't always need to do the Pep Guardiola. We see how how Pep Guardiola is going for Pep Guardiola right now. It's not going too well now, is it? Maybe Arteta shouldn't. He brought in Raheem Sterling. I don't think he's started him once.
Yeah, I don't think he has. But to be fair, recently he's looked a little better.
Getting rid of Smith Rowe, not replacing him. If you're not going to play one area or something like that, what do you have to lose? You brought in Raheem Sterling. He's there. Arsenal's PR. Literally. Went full steam ahead with the narrative and sort of, Sterling knows Arteta from City. Sterling said that he was one of, if not the most influential person or coach in his peak, time at City, blah, 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 and all that, and you knew they were going to go on that narrative, even though really Raheem Sterling, he was frozen out at Chelsea. Reece Nelson left. They needed to bring someone in. Raheem Sterling is just sitting there available at Chelsea. That's really
cool. I think what happened with
the chance to start, even to regardless of what you think. He's not even given a chance to start. Not even a single chance to play a full 90 minutes in the Premier League. Not once.
Yeah, but I think with Sterling, because I was hearing reports that, or I feel like I heard these reports that from training, from what he saw from Sterling, like in the actual training camp, he just wasn't. He wasn't the same as I guess when he worked with him.
He wasn't the same.
But
no way. Wait, Jonas. Are you saying that the Arteta's saying that like when he's seen Sterling in training, he's saying that he's not the same Raheem Sterling that he coached at Man City.
No, but look, I think it was good that honestly we got him on loan. It's a little risk. Arteta's worked with him at City, so he's familiar with him. And I think Sterling in recent weeks, especially, I think when him and Nwaneri came on, like they linked up very well.
But I know he got the assist on Nwaneri's goal, but other than that, I can't remember him doing anything of note for Arsenal, whether it's in the Premier League or Champions League. Maybe in the Carabao Cup or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know he played.
I don't know if I count that even though.
No. But I mean, we may as well give him a go. I mean, Trossard's not playing too great from the start.
Mm-hmm. He's looked better than recently.
Everyone knows what happens with the MDL. Everyone knows what happens when MDL starts. He's just there. Haven't really tried it. May as well. Got nothing to lose. Really?
No, but Trossard's looked better in recent weeks, like against Sporting especially. And then even today, I think that when he came off, he looked,
he came off the bench, so he's
very
good. And I'm a big fan of Trossard. And it's always said the longest time, Trossard is better than Martinelli. I've said it for ages, and I'll still stick by that. But you can't start Trossard every single week, man. I mean, you can't play every week. I mean, you look at the Bournemouth game, the Newcastle game, the Chelsea. Yeah. Oh wait, no, MDL started that match. My bad. Did MDL start against Liverpool at home? I don't know. I know he started in the Inter game, and he was dreadful in all three of those.
He was dreadful.
And Inter, he was awful in all of them. Even in the Shakhtar game at home, dreadful. Missed the penalty. Oh my days, I've never seen a penalty miss like that in my life. Awful.
Yeah.
It just shows, Jonas, what I told you even before the summer, what you needed and how you kept telling me. Don't worry.
No. I know what we needed.
We don't need a striker.
No, because I don't.
Yes, we have a striker.
I still don't think that was. Look, I still don't think that was what we fully needed. Because look what happened when Odegaard was out the team. Like what we needed this entire time, in my opinion.
What we needed to do was not be so hasty in getting rid of Smith Rowe.
I think that was the right move. I think that was the right move.
No,
look,
it wasn't.
I think it was.
If you brought someone to replace Smith Rowe, say you got rid of Smith Rowe and also were actually ambitious and they brought in someone like an Elise who's available for 45 mil. He can cover and compete with Saka. He can play in that Odegaard position. You would have a very, very, very good, highly talented footballer to play in that creative midfield role and on the right hand side. If you had spent and I said this, how many times have I said this? Think of it this way: 35 to 40 mil for Tony, because that's how much Saudi paid to bring him in. Tony was available for 40 mil, instant upgrade on Kai Havertz. He's already one of the best strikers in the league. 45 mil release cost for Elise, 50 mil for Palhinha. And then to top it off, if also really want to be ambitious, splash the cash for someone, yes, Rafael Leao's not the greatest technically, but he's going to be a very good X factor and that he's going to, supply you the goals when needed. 100%. And then after that, if also wanted to, they want to get rid of Fabio Vieira and Eddie Murphy and Nketiah, and they said, and Arteta said, I also want Marino and Calafiori, and I don't know, I want Raheem Sterling on loan because Reece Nelson left out of a replacement. You could look at them and be like, okay, cool, yeah, you can bring in these players, whatever, right? But they addressed the main, area of concern, which is the attack. And just how long have I been telling you this? How long?
But
Arsenal
I think it's
should have won that game. From the amount of possession they had, Arsenal should have won that game, really. And even going into the game, Arsenal should have battled Man United end of.
I think we should have probably won that, honestly.
Want to change. The expectation was that Arsenal should have, that should have been light work for Arsenal. End of story. And guess what? They didn't treat it as light work. You want to know why? Because two of the attackers kept fluffing their lines. But anyways, now getting back into the substitutions. Leandro Trossard, as we were just talking about, off the bench. Did he have enough time to?
Yeah, that
rating or no, not really. If not, just we can give him a standard.
I think he looked kind of. I think he I don't know if I'd necessarily say he made a big impact, but he looked good going forward. I guess he looked hungry going forward and stuff. I'd give him. I mean, I don't know if there's enough time to
You can give
maybe
him a
I'll.
standard 5 or so.
Yeah.
Okay. Jorginho, Mikel Merino came on. Standard 5s.
Yeah, standard 5s also.
Okay. And lastly, the manager, Mikel Arteta Pailipulis. What are you giving him for today?
Ooh, I would give. I mean, I think Arteta got it pretty spot on today. I'd give him an 8. I think he chose the team pretty well. Obviously, unfortunate that we couldn't have Gabriel in there, but yeah, I thought the tactics were good, and I liked how we weren't as over reliant on Odegaard, because I feel like, and yeah, I mean, we saw what happened when we didn't have Odegaard, and we were just relying on him so much with creativity that we just really struggled. And even in recent games, I feel like we've kind of been very reliant on him to just be creative and just supply us. But I mean, this time, obviously, Declan Rice, he really showed up, and I think
that doesn't have a creative bone in his body, nor forward pass either.
Wait, sorry, what did you say that last part?
Declan Rice, that guy doesn't have a creative bone in his body.
I think he does. I think he's a very. I'm telling you, he's a creative player. I thought, like, even today when you look at it, I think he was.
You need to create when you have 2 midfielders who are constantly giving you the ball back every time you lose it. So it's not too difficult. But I mean, look, listen, you also got the job done. Fair enough. I'm gonna have to hold it for the next couple of days, pause just until the torment of your insufferable fan base will finally be able to just move on to the next match. Thank goodness it's only a couple of days. I'm gonna have to see it on all the socials.
You love to see it.
Jonas is far for the worst, people. I'm telling you, he's far for the worst. I'm telling you, he's not the worst. Trust me, he's far for the worst individuals. But anyways, always big on my guy every single time. I'm always a pleasure to have him. Hopefully to have him back. In the very near future, and wherever you are watching this, we hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day / evening. Please take care.
Thank you.